Welcome to the Goddess Elevate Self-Love series. This is the 21-day practice to reprogram your subconscious mind and become the highest and greatest version of yourself. I'm Gaia, your instructor, and if this is your first video that you're watching, I encourage you to tap the link in the description below and start on day 1. Let us begin. Today, we are exploring into our subconscious mind and discovering what obstacles could be perceived as standing in our way in this present moment. Make sure you're in a quiet space with dim lighting. This routine is best done in the early morning between the hours of 4 and 6 a.m. or in the evening right before bedtime. Today, we're going to start in a position sitting straight up with your heart open, shoulders relaxed. Today, we'll be working with a journal. And if you're like me, you already have one. Just grab a journal, grab a pen, pause this video if you need to, and meet me back right here. If you don't have a journal, it's okay. Just use a slip of paper for now and get a journal later. Now that we are fully in position and ready to begin, let's take 3 deep breaths together and clear our mind. In through the nose, filling all the air up in your stomach. And when you can't take any more air in, take a little bit more. And then release with an ah through the mouth. Release and press in, sucking in your stomach, releasing all of the air out. And let's take another deep breath. At times we don't realize how much power is in the breath. Breath is life. Let's take one more deep breath. Last one. Relaxing our shoulders and bringing awareness to all parts of our body and relaxing them fully. I want you for a moment to think about your life and where you are presently, where you are in all areas of your life, where you are emotionally. Think about where you are financially. Think about where you are with your relationships, with your family. Where are you currently? What level are you at currently? Let's bring our awareness there. Let's sit with that for a moment and really meditate on where we are right now. Now you may say, it might be a little bit difficult to think about all of the areas in your life because you may say, I'm not doing so well in each area, but that's okay. Let's get out our journals. Turn to a blank page in your journal. Grab your pen and pause for a moment. Now that we have the awareness of where we are right now, with everything that's been going on with us in our lives, we just did a check-in, and now we know where we are right now. What we're going to write down on our paper are our perceived obstacles that could be standing in our way of being our highest and greatest self. Because when we brought our awareness to where we are currently in life, there were also some things that came up that were negative. Okay, right now we're doing a little bit of shadow work. Sometimes you have to acknowledge the negative to cancel it out. We can't just pretend like it's not there, because it is. So now what we're going to be doing is releasing our perceived obstacles. So at the top of your paper, you're going to write my perceived obstacles. Okay? Now, on this sheet of paper, I want you to list out every single thing that you think is holding you back from becoming your highest and best, greatest self in this current moment right now. Do you think it's the money that's holding you back? Is it because you have to get your body right first? Is it because you got to wait for your edges to grow back and then you can be great? I want to know, what are the obstacles that are standing in your way right now? Because we all have them. And right now, we're going to take a moment to acknowledge them. Okay? Pause this video for a moment and jot down on the paper. And you might need 2 sheets of paper. You might need 3 sheets of paper. Write until you feel it is done. Write until you feel it's all on the paper. And I want you to put down every single obstacle that is holding you back thus far. Pause here. Now that we wrote down everything that we believe is holding us back, maybe it's your social media presence, maybe it's your childhood, maybe it's your lack of forgiveness, whatever it may be, because it's 1,000 different things for different people. Now that we have it all written down, I want you to read through these things. And when you read through these things aloud, I want you to speak in the past tense. Okay? So I'll give you an example. I thought blank was an obstacle in being my best self. Then say, it is not. I thought fear was an obstacle. It is not. I thought not having a man was an obstacle. It is not. I thought having the perfect body was an obstacle. It is not. I thought my mom and my dad and how they treated me when I was younger was an obstacle. It is not. I thought because I didn't have money, that was an obstacle. It is not. I thought because I lived where I lived that that was an obstacle. It is not. I thought my children were an obstacle. It is not. I thought my outfits, my clothes, my appearance was an obstacle. It is not. All of these perceived obstacles, that's why we say perceived, because it's all in the mind. It's not in the minds of anyone else. It is only in your mind. What you perceive to be an obstacle. I can look at that and say, that is not an obstacle. And you can look at mine and say the same thing. That is not an obstacle. The hardest part is to look at ourselves and to look at the shadow side and the negative side of ourselves and say, that is not true. That is an obstacle that I created for myself. That is not truth. And now, in this moment, I get to believe different about myself. I don't have these obstacles anymore. I'm not dealing with those issues anymore. I am free. Now, let's take this paper, fold it in half, and we're going to rip it up. Rip it up. Rip it up. Rip it up. This is not us. This is not who we are. These are past obstacles that have held us back for far too long, honey. And this is done. Rip it up. Rip it up. Small pieces. Rip it all the way up. As small as you can. Small as you can. Rip it up. And once you rip up all those pieces, very carefully, you're going to make sure every single piece that you ripped up gets flushed down the toilet. Now, you may have to do a couple of flushes to make sure every single piece of paper is gone. But this is how we're actually clearing. This is shadow work. We're clearing the shadow side of us through the element of water. We know that water is purifying. It's always flowing. It can always re-energize, recharge. We use water to hydrate our body. We are born in water, in the amniotic fluid in the stomach. Water is part of life. It's one of the vital elements that we need in healing and in becoming our best and greatest selves. So we're going to take all these papers, and for the last time, let's pause the video and we're going to flush it all away, because we now released those obstacles that we thought were standing in our way. They are not. And for the entire day today, if you have an obstacle that comes up into your mind, oh, I can't do this because of that. I want you to remind yourself that that is a perceived obstacle. That is not real. That is not reality. That is something that you created in your own mind. And if you can create that, honey, you can create anything in your own mind. Choose to create greatness. Choose to create your highest and best self. All right. Thank you all for being here with me today. This concludes day 2, and it was really all about awareness today. So I'll title this video Awareness. Join us back here for tomorrow on day 3 of 21. And make sure you click the links in the description box to find all the information that you need to know about me. Until next time, peace, family.